You have probably heard the expression, everything old is new again. Not actually referring to cosmetic surgery, but rather to a woman who uses vintage fabrics and turns them into new classic coats and suits. Lisa Drader-Murphy works out of a 200-year-old farmhouse in Nova Scotia, but her clothing line, called Turbine, is very now.
We're in an apple orchard in the Annapolis Valley. 52 apple trees. Things that we never would have done downtown Calgary. It's there. We can do this now. It's important to not compromise what you know is your dream and what you know is a healthy environment for your children to grow up in, and go for it.
Isn't it a nice day? This was an apple barn originally, and it's about 100 years old, we're told. We moved out here and found a beautiful property that was in the country and renovated a building, and a lot of people thought we were crazy, but people are finding us here.
Oh, there's a lot of vintage fabric out there. You have to know where to find it. This came from Calgary. Many of our fabrics come from Montreal, in the garment district. Little shops tucked away, you know, go down the long hallway through the basement, and there's a little man sewing away, and he's been tailoring there for 40 years, and he happens to have some fabric that he hasn't quite got around to using up yet.
It's the best inspiration. Totally inspired by the fabric. It's really a passion for fabric. This is the Turbine showroom. We're surrounded by the cutting and production, but the middle of the studio is where our customers come in and they can buy off the rack.
But look at this, it's got a shawl inside.
Oh, that's awesome. We had to come up with concepts and ideas that would draw people, and they're getting more than just a chance to come in and shop.
Sweet, I love that.
So we're going to do a private trunk show today.
And part of the game is that you have to show everybody what you have on. You have to model it.
Okay.
Perfect, perfect.
Everybody has to have a knee-length tweed. This is important for this season. This is a Harris tweed, a 1960s Scottish imported. The tailor brought it over and we found it in Calgary. I'm very inspired by fabric. I find the fabric and then the wheels start turning. The fabric is the identity of these garments.
My background is really in the tailoring background, pattern making, tailoring. It's becoming a lost art. This is what I'm really good at. So for me, it's work that I can be proud of.
We have happy employees that love coming to work every day and find, you know, are thrilled that they've found a place that they can be creative in a small town.
Yep. There, and then true your line going up.
It's exciting to work with the older fabric. The quality's a lot nicer, and I'm very tactile. I love to touch it. It's kind of interesting that it was produced originally for men's suiting in the 50s and 60s, most of it, and that it was then stored in warehouses, and then we dig it out and make women's clothing.
This is an industrial nylon. We've used vintage coat buttons and 1940s military issue wool for the collar, which is kind of a nice contrast. You know, this hard-edged industrial with a soft boiled wool collar.
This is our top-selling jacket. It looks great with the French cuff shirt peeking out underneath. I wear this with jeans all winter too.
This cut of the jacket.
We have a suit that will sell anywhere from about $300 to $450, and we sell coats for anywhere from $250 to $400 as well. So I'd say that we're very reasonably priced.
I'm definitely a fan. I love the way it fits. I love the fact that there's a philosophy behind the clothing that fits my philosophy.
You can return to old materials but do something new and original with them.
We have been written up and interviewed by the Dean of Environmental Design as being an example of sustainable design in the fashion industry. We're not producing a demand for the production of more raw materials. We're using a source that's available that has been overlooked. I'm an anomaly in the fashion industry. If you're in the fashion industry, you want what's new, and that means nobody else has ever used it. Like if it's even a year old, it's old. We've seen it, right? It's got to be current.
Oh my gosh. Look at you in black. I do.
A turbine is a power generator. It rotates, revolves to generate power. So the fabric is revolving and it's come back into its own. It's become current again.
Ooh, nice. Look at that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Check that out.
I love it.
As you heard, Lisa said she chose the name Turbine because it denotes strength and power, just like the women who buy her clothes.